Welcome, everybody, to another day of the Daily Antidote of Song. Um, it's really lovely to see you all here today. I'm Jaden. I work for Carpe Diem Arts. You probably see me doing tech on Fridays. So, really excited to be doing the hellos today. Um, yeah. Oh, just a quick note, the website is down. I think Joe let everybody know, so that's why folks might be having a difficult time finding the link, and we'll probably have a lot of friends on Facebook watching today. We're celebrating, this is celebrating March Week. We're celebrating Irish American Heritage Month, Disability Awareness Month, and Women's History Month. So excited to be doing that through song with you all. And let's say hi to the Facebook family. Hey, Facebook. And as always, yeah, let's just get started. Hi, Joe. Thank you for being here and doing all that you do. Hello, amazing Reggie Harris. We're so excited to have you here with us today. And David Roth, hi. Excited that you're going to be playing with us. Hi, Anna. Hello, Bob and Mabel. Good to see you today. Hello, Arlene in Berkeley and Becky in BC. Hi, Jenny in Suffolk and Susan G. Hi, Ruth in Birmingham. And hello, Brian. Hello, Gloria in Minnesota. Good to see you. Hi, Kate in Charlottesville and Anne in Maryland. I'm in Maryland too. And hi, Kath on Arapaho. I can't see the rest of you where you are, but awesome. Love to see that. Good to see you here. Hi, Sarah in Texas and Ralph in Victoria. Hi, Fred in Silver Spring and Janet in Atlanta. Lost my place. Hello, Jean in Pittsburgh. Good to see you. Hi, Hindi. Hi. Hi, Jamie in Victoria and Gary in somewhere in the world. Hello, Harriet. Good to see you. And the amazing curly tops. 3 curly tops I see. Hi, Anne and Cricket. Hello, Dick and Kathy in Victoria. Awesome friends of the Daily Antidote. And then hello to all our friends off camera today. I think I already said hello to Jamie, but good to see you. And Bronwyn, Loriana and Kachina and Penny and Kay and Jane G. Yeah, again, a bit of a smaller group today because I think a lot of folks are watching from Facebook, but thanks all for being here. And without further ado, I'll pass it on to wonderful long-term friend of the Daily Antidote of Song, Reggie Harris.
Well, thank you, Jaden, and thank you all. I'm coming to you today from a lovely rest area on the New York Thruway, making my way west. Hello, hello, hello. And I'm on this beautifully unsecured network, so hopefully the Daily Antidote is being shared with people who don't even know they were going to get the antidote. They need the antidote. I need the antidote, and today I could not resist jumping on because my dear friend David Roth, songwriter, storyteller, community builder, and concerned human being who tells such amazingly wonderful stories that really touch our hearts and bind us all to this mission that we're on to spread the light. David, it's so wonderful to see you today, and I know that you have a truly remarkable song to share with us. So, how are you, my friend?
Wow, it is good to see you, and I wouldn't be surprised if you and I have been at that rest stop multiple times together over the
You know
years.
that we have.
Because our friendship goes back to 1980. Goes back a long way. And I'm thrilled that you could be here with us today. And one part of the month celebration is for disabilities awareness. And I have a beautiful song that came about. I'm going to teach you all the chorus. It's really kind of a story song, but it has a singable chorus. So I want to briefly tell you that how it got written was I had lunch with a couple of ladies with different abilities in Florida on Martin Luther King Jr.'s Sunday in 2013. They wanted to have lunch with me after I was doing a service called We Have a Dream in honor of Dr. King with songs and commentary. And we all met at a little diner, Mary Jo Perrone, Carol Rudinsky, I, and our mutual friend Robbie Greenberg, who Reggie also knows. Robbie is now retired in North Carolina, but for many years she ran R&R Inclusion, and her job was to provide cultural experiences for people with different abilities. And so she would take her clients, who she would really call friends, as I call them, to things they would not get to go to without people like her: art galleries, museums, folk music concerts, musicals, dramas, plays, miniature golf, out to eat, movies, frozen yogurt, you name it. And over the years, I've become acquainted with many of them. And these two gals, Mary Jo Perrone and Carol Rudinsky, wanted to have lunch with me one day on that Dr. King Sunday 9 years ago. And when we sat down at a little table for four, what I coaxed out of them, they were very shy about this, was that they wanted me to write a song for them. And I said, "What kind of song are you looking for?" And they looked at each other. Carol was born with cerebral palsy and Mary Jo developmental disabilities, and they were both in their late 50s at the time, as I was. And finally they said, "We're really tired of how people make fun of us everywhere we go and all our lives." So I took that placemat from Robbie, I turned it over, and I started writing notes, because they started a lava flow of things they'd probably kept inside for a long time. And 2 hours later, I had their song. And I made them co-writers on it, too, so that when that CD came out the next year, there they saw their name next to mine, Good, Bad, or Indifferent. And the chorus goes like this, and this is their story. This is the chorus. First, Mary Jo. Mary Jo says all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent. I work hard and I help. Try it with me. Mary Jo says all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Should be in the chat. Consider my abilities. I am competent. I work hard and I help. Of course, the only other chorus is Carol. Let's try that and then I'll launch into the song. Carol says, all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent. I work hard and I help. All right? Here goes something. Mary Jo got a job down at the fast food joint. She was happy for the work. Mary Jo was put on fries. She's been making them for years. This is her specialty. Mary's special, very special. When you're making fries, you see a lot of people. You get to be up front, right by the counter. You get to talk to customers. You get to look outside. And Mary Jo delighted in her job. The new manager they got was someone younger. It didn't seem this person understood that Mary Jo was just a little different, but as good as any worker that this place had ever had. One day the boss told Mary Jo to make the Happy Meals, sent her to the back part of the store. This person also used the word retarded. The meals weren't so happy anymore. Here we go. Mary Jo says all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent, I work hard and I help. You try it, I'll play for you. Now Carol is another special person, compassionate and friendly, creative, fun and kind. But she never liked a single day of school. Kids made fun of her, they made fun of her. When she grew up, she felt it was important to make a difference for people just like her. So Carol told their story to a singer, so we could sing their story to the world. Carol says, all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent, I work hard, and I help. You try it, Carol says. Mary Jo and Carol are good friends, and they do things together just like you and me. So if you ever see someone who's making fun of people like 'em, think who has the disability.
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful story and a marvelous song. Thank you, David. You know, this is something that I know you have done for years, which is to see people and then to locate their stories into a song that then we get to sing to the world. It's such a remarkable gift, and we want to talk a little bit about, how that connection made. I know, you started out like a lot of us, just kind of writing songs that came from inside and songs that were personal, but you have spent much of your career helping us to see other people in the world.
Well, you would know that as well. You and I met in the early 80s, and when I lived in New York City in the 1980s, I saw an ad in Billboard magazine or Variety magazine for Hospital Audiences Incorporated. And this turned out to be a nonprofit agency. You probably worked for them too. Did you?
Yeah, actually I did, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh, I did for years. So I went down and auditioned for them. They were looking for entertainers, magicians, dancers, anything who would go. They would send out into the 5 boroughs of New York City to prisons, halfway houses, psychiatric wards, nursing homes, just every kind of social service for neighbors in need, I would call them. And I remember my audition piece. I had my banjo, and I did a rollicking version of the Wabash Cannonball, which had yodeling in between the verses. And I guess they either
Yodeling.
couldn't wipe me from
Oh, my
their
God.
minds, or they could never forget that. But I remain friends with them to this day. And I went to just about every facility for many years, and I saw, maybe for the first time, a lot of invisible people that some people might rather not see at all or know that they were there. And I just got tuned into that somehow, So all these years later, I've written a lot of songs about people with different abilities. And to have this luncheon with Mary Jo and Carol was a real turning point for me, because then I found out that they sat on the board of directors of a nonprofit at the time called Abilities Venti, whose mission was twofold: was to raise awareness about people with different abilities and to fight legislation that would cut funding for basic human services that they needed to survive. And so they were an awareness-raising organization. And at that time, Mary Jo was the president of the board, and Carol was on the board and nonprofit. And I asked him, where did you get this great name, Abilities Venti? What a cool name. And I'm thinking this might be Latin or Italian for venti, life, the highest the highest level one can achieve on this earthly plane. And we
Right.
happened to be sitting in one of those fancy coffee shops, and they said, "We got it from Starbucks." It was the biggest cup. It was the biggest cup they had there that day. It was a venti.
The simplest answer.
And I said, "Starbucks?" And they said, "Yeah, we love Starbucks." All right, so a couple years later, I was doing a sermon and song at a church north of Boston, and my talk that day, I do a thing where I sing songs and I tell stories and anecdotes about them. There, I have one called "The Special in Special People," about just these very people that we're talking about. And I did my thing. I told them about Mary Jo and Carol and a few other amazing, ordinary people who do extraordinary things. And at the end of the service, a woman came up to me and she said, "Mr. Roth," I said, "Call me David." She said, "If I send you something, can you get it to Mary Jo and Carol?" And I said, "Absolutely." And so about a week later, at world headquarters of David Roth Music, which is this messy room in our house upstairs, you've been here too, I received a packet from this stranger, and inside was a note reminding her of our conversation. And there was also a greeting card addressed to Mary Jo, one, and one to Carol. And inside each greeting card, she wanted me to read them to make sure her language was not condescending. "Dear Mary Jo, you are a light in this world. Dear Carol, thank you for being who you are." It was perfect. But she wanted me to double check to make sure, because this was newer territory for her. But also inside each card was a $100 Starbucks card. One for Mary Jo and one for Carol. Now, this is like a
Really?
gazillion dollars to these ladies who
Yeah.
love Starbucks, if I didn't tell you. And I called up my friend Robbie and said, "You can't believe what just happened from a total stranger. Just gave $200 for coffee for Mary Jo and Carol." And Robbie said, "Oh, they're going to explode with joy." So I found out later that Robbie presented the cards, and there were 13 clients in Abilities Vanity at the time. They were all at a Starbucks, and Robbie presented the cards to Mary Jo and Carol. And of course, now they're all asking me to write songs for them. This is a symbolic song for everybody, and not just people with different needs, for anybody who's not seen in any way or heard in any way, like the people in Ukraine, which we'll get to tomorrow. So I think Mary Jo bought everybody a coffee the first day. Carol's been having them one by one. It's just a different management style of this gift card. But I started telling the story, and the Christmas that year, I sent out a note to my email list, and this is the coolest thing ever. I said, "Hey, listen, have you got a coffee card in your wallet that you're really not using? If you could send it to me, maybe we could buy all 13 of the Abilities Venti people a cup of coffee for the new year." I think it might have been 2018 at the time. And I just put that out on my email list, and before I knew it, we dumped them all out on Robbie's coffee table when she still lived in Florida, because I brought them down. There was over $1,300 worth of coffee cards sent in by people just like you. So at a little house concert that night, it was Carol's birthday. We were about to cut cake, and I said, "Wait a minute, got to have something to go with the cake." And I was able to give each of the friends, all 13 of them, on brand new $100 coffee card, thanks to the contributions of people like you all around the country. It was just one of the coolest things ever. The walls were going to explode in that house. There was so much joy and so much visibility.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
People are putting some really wonderful notes into the chat, and I'm the opportunity. Recently I was kind of looking for something to watch one night, tuning into Netflix, and I came upon Crip Camp, which is a wonderful film that I recommend for anyone to watch. It really is a story of a camp where people with differing abilities were able to come and not only be seen, but really be free to be who they were. And out of that particular camp really came the whole impetus toward disability rights and to many just truly amazing things in the movement across the nation. And they can trace it back to some of the leaders who rose out of that experience at Crip Camp. It was a remarkable movie to watch because, so much of what we need to do in our lives is to realize how many layers we're kind of placing on how it is we see people, and within our own ability to negotiate and navigate the world. We become really desensitized so easily So this is a wonderful time to be not only thinking about it, but also your song today really reminded me of some things in terms of how we see people who exist in kind of another universe because our universe is often so close to them.
Well, yeah. Putting one foot in front of the other in this world is so different for everybody these days, and what it takes and the things I take for granted. I mean, the struggles that other have are things I can never imagine. So all I can hope to do is wake myself up a little bit by being engaged and involved with this music, my music, your music, the music of DAS and other light bearers and change makers. Well, that would be my hope. This kind of circles back to the very first song I sang for Joe at the DAS, like whenever it was in 2020 when you had recommended me to her. It was called My Voice Matters. That's what, my voice matters, my voice counts. Yeah. Get to know what I'm all about. No more labels, fears, or doubts. My voice matters, my voice counts. And that I wrote with about 60 people of different abilities, in Florida. And Mary Jo and Carol were there that day. And I'll never forget a man in a wheelchair in the back when I was like trying to say, what would you like this song to say? What would you like people to know about you that they wouldn't necessarily know by looking at the way you were moving around in the world? And a man in a wheelchair immediately shot his hand up in the back and said, I'd like people to know that I'm a gifted person. So I am gifted, I am strong, we are powerful, one and all. We are determined to make a change. All are equal, all the same. That was my first introduction to this community, but not my first one to the invisible people, who are more visible to me than ever and bring so much more to me in my life than I could ever hope to bring to them in theirs.
Well, we're so grateful, David, for you bringing that song to us today. Before I ask you to kind of lead us through maybe a chorus or two of that song again, is there anything else that how are you navigating this challenging time? I know we're all trying to really keep shining our light through music, and certainly the Antidote has been one of the places where we have been able to gather and forming this community where we are all seen. And I love that Joe has just introduced, and as it carried on with Jaden today, the greeting of each other, the seeing of each other for even just 30 minutes a day, letting our lights, however bright or dim they might be on a given day. So it's just really great to see you in this navigational time.
Yeah, I saw a little. I don't read the chat during these. I really like to pay attention to what's going on the screen. But I saw something on the flash from Joe saying, "Don't just sing the chorus, sing the whole song." So I will. And if you guys would sing along, Joe, it's good to see your smiling face, and what a pleasure. We'll have a little bit of wrap up after this because there's some more stuff to tell you. But this is for Mary Jo and Carol and every other person in this and any other world. No exceptions.
Tell the story.
Mary Jo got a job down at the fast food joint. She was happy for the work. Mary Jo was put on fries. She's been making them for years. This is her specialty. Mary's special, very special. When you're making fries, you see a lot of people. You get to be up front, right by the counter. You get to talk to customers. You get to look outside. And Mary Jo delighted in her job. The new manager they got was someone younger. Didn't seem this person understood that Mary Jo was just a little different, but as good as any worker that this place had ever had. One day the boss told Mary Jo to make the Happy Meals and sent her to the back part of the store. This person also used the word retarded. The meals weren't so happy anymore. Mary Jo says all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent, I work hard, and I help. Carol is another special person. Compassionate and friendly, creative, fun and kind. But she never liked a single day of school. Kids made fun of her, they made fun of her. And when she grew up, she felt it was important to make a difference for people just like her. So Carol told their story to some singer, so we could sing their story to the world. Carol says, all I really want to be treated just like everybody else. Consider my abilities. I am competent, I work hard, and I help. Mary Jo and Carol, David and Reggie are good friends, and they do things together just like you and me. So if you ever see someone who's making fun of people like think who has the disability.
Well, let's give David some love today and take this song into our filters today. So as we move through this world this week and this month and every day on, we improve how it is we see. Thank you, David. It's always a joy,
Oh, it's
a delight.
my great pleasure, Reggie, and thanks for all you do in the world. And I think before we throw it back to Jaden, I'll just remind you guys that tomorrow I'll be sitting where Reggie is, but not at the rest stop. I'll be here, but I'll be hosting the DAS tomorrow. And we have very special husband and wife duo from the Ukraine, and that's going to be our subject tomorrow. And believe me, I know why I have two of these and one of these. I'm going to listen at least twice as much as I speak. It's going to be very powerful tomorrow. Just like every other day I've ever been here, no exception. So thank you all, and it's great to see you, my friends.
You all might want to save this chat because there's lots of really amazing information lurking in the pixels, and you might want to follow up on some of these. So it's been a pleasure, and if you want, David, I can leave this chair warm for you, and the rest area will be open, but I will be gone. Thanks to Joe, thanks to Jaden, and Jaden, it's all yours.
Great. Thank you all so much. That was just such a wonderful and heartwarming song and conversation to hear. Thank you both for being here today, and thank you to everybody for joining and watching. Okay, let's say bye to the Facebook family. Bye, folks.